even think I'd ever said it.
You have a joke?
Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Hey, why the long face?"
Funny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The horse replies with, "I'm an alcoholic and it's killing my family."
Yeah, use the word
Okay.
Why the long
Wait, what do you think?
The horse replied, "Because I'm an alcoholic and it's killing my family."
That's a dad joke.
It's a dad joke.
It's an anti-joke.
Do you not get the original one? The long face is like another way of saying why you look sad. But a horse has a long face, like literally. That's the original joke.
Why the long face? Because it's a horse.
Because it's a horse and has a
They
long
have
face.
long faces.
But hers just goes the other way. She goes, "Oh, it's because of my family, so it's actually sad and not just good."
Do the Pre-Calc joke.
Interrupting cow.
Moo! Who are you doing that with?
Knock knock.
No.
Ignored friend. Ignored friend?
Ignored friend.
Go away, go away.
Okay, so here's this one. You get a polynomial, gotta find all the roots. I give you one of them. If you know one imaginary root, you automatically know two.
The opposite one.
Because complex roots always occur in conjugate pairs.
Which means that there's 5 minus 2i.
Minus 2.
5 minus 2i also is one of the roots.
So we know there's 2.
So now we got two of them.
Other 3, there's 3.
There's going to be 3. This one is actually, there's a couple different ways you could do this. I'm noticing one way that would be pretty... I don't think 87 has many factors.
1 in 87.
1 in 87, maybe... No, it's 7. Yeah. Oh, 3. 3 goes into it.
Yeah.
8 plus... You know how I knew that?
39? Yeah.
8 plus 7 is 15, and 15 is divisible by 3. So 3 goes into 87. 29 times. Ah, so that spreads it. Okay, so let's not do it that way. I thought it was just going to be 1 in 87. Since I know this, if I know what my root is, or one of my roots are, I can get the other one because it's conjugate pair. And then the factor, basically the whole idea, let's just go to a simpler one. Review here. If you had like x to the third, crap, I can't make these up. Here we go. Let's say you had x to the fourth minus 13x squared plus 36, and you knew one of the roots was 2. How do you proceed to find the rest?
You do the syntactic division with 2.
Yeah, you divide, right? Because this would be like, you could do long division too. That would be x minus 2, and then if you divide that by x minus 2, you would, the power would go down and you'd end up with x to the third plus 2x squared minus 9x minus 18. Just trust me on that. It's right here. It's from problem 1. You just, right? And then if you knew another root, you could divide again, and eventually you could get it down to where you could maybe factor it, right? So that's the whole idea. If you know one of the roots, you can divide and get this sucker down to a simpler form. It's the same exact thing on this, except I know 2 roots. So I know x equals 5 plus or minus 2i, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Those are the roots of the zeros. What would the factor be? Meaning,
Usually,
yeah, you want to turn this into like a factor. Basically, get this equal to 0. And don't just subtract 5 and then add and subtract 2i. So it's x minus 5 plus or minus 2i. Not helpful. Yeah, you're going to square it. And this, so
25 plus or minus.
if we just, you could square it right now, but it's kind of hard. It's a lot easier to subtract the 5 first. So it'd be x minus 5 would equal positive or negative 2i. Now square it. Square everything. So you'd have x minus 5 squared equals, what would be over here?
Well, let's see. I squared is just 1, or negative 1.
Negative 4.
So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4.
Negative 4, yeah. Because 2i squared be 4i squared, that's negative 1, so it's negative 4. Positive or negative, you don't need it anymore, because positive 2 squared and negative 2 squared are the same thing.
Yeah.
Plus, if you had this and you were trying to solve for x, you would square root, and you'd have positive or negative square root of negative 4, which would become positive or negative 2i, right?
Yeah.
At this point, add 4. So yeah, x minus 5 squared plus 4. That's a weird deal there. How can I write that? Can I do long division with that?
No.
I don't think so. I don't know how you divide
Divided
that.
by.
Huh? I don't know. I'm just saying, this is one of the factors of this. Okay? So you need to divide that by that. But do you know how to divide that by that? No.
Yes.
Really?
Just factor it all
I
out.
don't think I
Just
multiply this out, yeah. So it'd be x squared minus 10x plus 25 plus 4. So that'd be x squared minus 10x plus 29. There is one of the factors of that.
Wait, that's a factor?
Yes.
No, because we gotta find the root.
Ooh, how'd you know it's going to be 3, Riley? Because 3 times 29 is 87? Maybe.
Maybe.
You know how to divide that by that?
Yeah, it's called long division.
Long division, yeah. You just go x squared minus 10x plus 29. X to the third minus 7x squared minus x plus 87. X squared into x to the third is x. Multiply all those by x. Do you add or subtract when you do long division?
Subtract.
Subtract. Then. That's 0. Negative 7 plus 10 is positive 3. Negative 1 minus 29 is negative 30. Bring down the 87. Whoops. And then 3 plus 3. It's going to be 3x squared minus 30x plus 87. Boom, nailed it. So there's my other factor, right?
Plus 3.
So basically, if you were to if you could just factor that thing straight up from the beginning, it would have been x plus 3 times x squared minus 10x plus 29. That is the factored form of that. Well, so what's your other root or
X
0?
minus 3?
No,
Oh, that's only
negative
3.
3.
it's negative 30. X equals
yeah.
negative 3.
Yes. That's the other root.
So you got x, one root was 5 plus, if you set that equal to 0 and solve for x, don't do it again because you already know the answer. Don't, you'd have to do quadratic formula, but you would get that. And then you set that one equal to 0 and you get negative 3, boom, there's your 3 roots.
And you're done.
And
Okay.
not bad, right? Do you want a minute to try the other one? I feel like not many people have got.
I want some.
Yeah, I want some of that.
There's one more in this packet. I was going to give you the answer. Take 6 minutes and try it. I can't pause this.
Which one's number 6?
So we know x equals positive or negative 2i, correct?
Yes.
Now we're just working backwards to figure out the factor that if I set that factor equal to 0 would give me those answers. Well, that's where you square both sides. So we had that, so you got x squared equals 2 squared is 4. It would be 4i squared. I squared is negative 1, so it's negative 4.
So it's x squared minus 4.
No.
No?
So you have to add 4 to both sides. So
Oh.
x squared plus 4 is the factor that when set equal to 0 will give you the roots positive and negative 2i. Right?
All right. Okay. Yeah.
When that's set,
This is a factor of this. Because if I set that equal to 0 and if you solve this,
I was just thinking.
you get those as your answer. That's what you want.
That's what I did too.
So now just take this and divide it by that.
There you go.
x squared goes to
But the long division?
Long
You
division.
cannot do synthetic with the x squared as your denominator, the thing you're dividing by. I forget the actual math word.
The whoop-de-woo.
No, it's not one of those. I squared both sides to get rid of the I. 2i squared is 4i squared. 2i squared.
Is it 2x squared minus x minus 1?
I don't know.
I think I did it right.
X squared plus 4.
2x squared. 2x squared minus x minus 1.
So that'd be what? 2x squared multiply 2x to the 4th plus 8x squared. Subtract. That since that is 0. What do I do here when it's negative x to the 3rd? And
Drop it.
you just drop it. Just drop it down.
And
And then you do
it's
7 minus 8.
negative x squared.
Negative x squared. Drop those down.
Okay, next one.
Yep. And then you would minus x.
Minus x multiply negative x to the 3rd minus 4x. Subtract.
And then you could put on
0. Negative x squared. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0.
Yeah.
Minus 4.
And 1.
Okay.
Minus 1.
Yeah, minus 1.
Minus 1, and it looks like, yep, no remainder.
Not even getting that good.
You're not done.
Close.
So now you're down to 2x squared minus x minus 1. How are you going to get the last two roots?
Why didn't you?
Factor if you can, yeah. It's got to be 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Subtract 2 plus 1, there it is.
And that's all four.
So one is 1 and then one's a half.
Yeah, set each factor
Negative
equal to
1/2
0.
and
So x equals 1 and negative 1/2
And then you have the two
and
others.
plus and minus 2i.
And there's your 4 roots.
There's your 4 roots.
Okay.
Yeah, where you lose?
If you didn't know how to factor that, what could you do?
Quad.
L quadratic formula.
No.
If you forget the quadratic formula and you don't know how to factor, what are you going to do?
Is there a can you actually say quadratic?
Lay down,
Drop out. Correct answer. But maybe you'll have a stroke of genius and you'll go, wait a second, I know that the possible zeros are 1 over 1 and 2, and they're positive and negative. So it's either 1 or 1/2, positive or negative. So then I can sit here and I can do synthetic division and I can guess and check. 2, negative 1, negative 1, 2,
What if you get a stroke of genius?
That's not happening.
But chances are, if you don't know how to factor the quadratic formula,
How do you do
you're not going to remember that.
Drop
Lay down, try to cry a lot.
How do you?
Wait, what did you just do?
The Paris did that.
and then again?
Or is it already over?
No.
Yeah.
Quadratic.
Quadratic?
Oh, I know the quadratic.
It's negative b plus or minus.
Square root.
Square root of b squared.
I'll cover it up.
You just shot up the streets.
If you remember.
Where are you looking at? Oh, I was seeing one division.
Wait,
Can
what
you
did
leave
you do
this
there?
one up there?
Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, all those are up there. I should cover all of them.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's
I can't provide an unfair advantage. Sorry.
It's not unfair.
It's pretty unfair. I can't even.
Actually, you chose it.
I chose a spot.
Any questions over this whole thing?
You see to one.
No.
I don't understand. Pi pizza.
Piece of pie.
Oh, that sounds good right now.
It wouldn't be piece of pie though.
Yeah, love it.
You have low battery.
Well, we'll just shut it off. Good luck all day.
Yeah, hey, what's your favorite food?